The sun is rising in the Atlanta area on what was going to be the longest day of the year. June 21st, 2022 was the summer solstice with over 14 hours of straight daylight. My day started at 0640 in the morning as I head trackside along Norfolk Southern's Atlanta North District. I arrive at CP Bridge, just missing train 314 arriving at Inman Yard. This would be my starting point today as I await to see what NS had to offer. The first train capture of the day was Macon, Georgia to Elkhart, Indiana train 174, having all D9-40 CW GE motors for power. This train was dated the 19th, 2 days behind schedule. They met inbound train 220 arriving from the KCS out of Wiley, Texas on its final mile stretch before reaching Inman Yard. Of course, they were on Main 2 with the 174 blocking me on the runaround track. At this point, I decided to switch from using my camcorder to my iPhone 11 Pro Max, seeing a better difference in quality and adjusting to the lighting outside a little bit better. Austell local job G93 rounds the curve at Bridge, heading back to Whitaker Yard as light power, with a nice P3 horn coming from NS SD60E 6935. Train 22N then slowly approaches with a route into Inman Yard. This train is made up of intermodal out of Memphis with a pickup of mixed freight at Sheffield, Alabama en route to Atlanta. Here comes another train for Inman, train 24E, also from the KCS, but this one came out of Mexico, Monterrey to be exact. Mixed Freight Train 175 follows about 10 minutes later, coming in for the crew swap with a UP AC44CW leader. This motor was originally built by the Southern Pacific Railroad in 1995. Another 15 minutes go by, and here came a trio of NS-AC44C6M motors, powering train 187 rounding the curve on Main Track 1, departing for Birmingham, Alabama. Note the Boeing Parts Hine-wide load on the head end. After catching 7 trains in a 2-hour period at Bridge, there was a short dead spell. I took the opportunity to move over to Nickajack Road for the next batch of trains. At 10:10, train 154 runs on an approach signal at CP Nickajack while they wait for a route into Inman Yard. They'll slow to a crawl while going over the defect detector.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 140.8. Track 1, no defects.
Amtrak Crescent 19 then speeds north on Main 1 towards Nickajack with a nice surprise, having the 40th anniversary Phase 2 Heritage Unit number 130 at the lead. They'll turn west at Austell on its route towards Birmingham, Meridian, and New Orleans.
Nickajack, number 1 main, Amtrak 19-0.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 140.8. Track 1, no defects.
Right behind them, muscling up the hill on Main 2 was Train 23N, intermodal out of Jacksonville, heading for Memphis. Another 174, dated the 20th, pulled up to Nickajack, coming to a brief halt just shy of the defect detector. They were waiting on train 22G to cross over, UP Intermodal out of Long Beach, California, on its final stretch towards Atlanta. The 174 then gets a signal indication at Nickajack to proceed northbound towards Chattanooga.
Track 1, Nickajack, 174 up.
Alright, I dispatch. Chief's on you. Norfolk Southern, milepost 140.8. Track 1, no defects.
10 minutes later came train 226, intermodal from the UP out of Los Angeles, also heading for Inman Yard. They had just dropped off a cut of cars for Austell's Whitaker Yard. Now they are on their final stretch of the trip to Atlanta. An hour and a half was spent here at Nickajack. In that time period, I shot 6 trains. Not bad for another little rush hour. I then moved back south into the city, eventually reaching the south end of Inman Yard at 12:14, with train 231 coming in the freight lead at Rockdale. This is intermodal traffic out of the ports in Savannah bound for Whitaker Yard in Austell, with a portion of their train cut in half for Inman. My attention was then turned to train 346, who was building their train for the trip south to Macon. In the lead was a rebuilt UP-AC 4460 CW number 7048. This was the same power that was on train 314, the same train that I missed at Bridge when I started my day this morning. I'm glad this train made up for it. They then pull south, now ready to depart Inman at 12:45. The 231 was still pulling towards the north end of the forwarding yard, and I had just missed northbound train 187 going by Phoenix. But that was no matter. I knew exactly where I wanted to shoot this 346. If you thought spring, then you would be correct. Although this location is not on the best side of the city, this is one of my favorite spots with the downtown Atlanta skyline in the background. After picking up the conductor at Jefferson Street, the 346 is now on the journey south to Macon-Bibb County, passing me at 1319. Back at Inman, southbound loaded coal train 732 pulls up Main 2 to tie down with no available south end crews for a little while. No other movements would be seen on the south end of the yard. It's 14:28 in the afternoon now as I moved back to the north end, breaking for lunch. Right across from the main line at Mableton is a Kentucky Fried Chicken. I haven't had them in a while and decided to give them another go. I got the chicken sandwich meal with 3 cookies and a drink. It came with a choice of 1 to 3 sides. I chose the mac and cheese. All in all, the food was pretty decent. Good enough for me to get through the rest of the day. While eating lunch, signals light up at low for northbound train 188, empty autoracks out of East Point bound for Detroit, Michigan. They had a BNSF ES-44C4 in the consist. An hour then goes by, giving me enough time for me to finish my food. By then, here came the next movement. Southbound loaded grain train 50R muscles up to Mableton with a Union Pacific motor mixed in the consist, while meeting northbound mixed freight train 370 having a Union Pacific Thundercab SD70 ACE at the lead, and a whopping 18 cars en route to Chattanooga. I decided to follow the short 370 a good ways just to get out of the Atlanta area and into the mountains, starting here at Austell. "16:31 in the afternoon, and the sun continues to shine down on this long and hot summer day. I'm in the city of Dallas now, continuing to follow the 370 north as they approach the Academy Drive road crossing. One more shot would do with this train as they now descend from Braswell Mountain and into the city of Rockmart.
Norfolk Southern milepost 104.3. No defects.
I had to cut the chase there and head back south, mainly because I was just about out of gas. I did make it to the gas station, thankfully, and filled up just before arriving back at Dallas to shoot northbound train 282 with a mix of freight and intermodal traffic. It's now 18:15 as I stop in Powder Springs for northbound rail train 915 out of Atlanta bound for Moberly, Missouri. "20 minutes later, I'm back at Austell finding train 232 working on getting their train together out of Whitaker Yard. We'll see them pass through momentarily. At City Hall, local job G88 returns from Atlanta as light power with GP60 7101 leading. These motors were very common on these jobs. Now, not so much. At 18:55, the 232 departs Austell heading towards Inman to make another pickup before continuing on to Macon. About 10 minutes later, the train of the day shows up with foreign power on the head and 3 XNS SD70M-2s. This was train 373, Chattanooga bound. I had just enough time to get one more chase in before the sun would set for the day. I was able to get them at 3 different locations, starting here at McPherson, climbing the grade to Braswell Mountain. I found some golden light as they now descend from Braswell Mountain through the city of Rockmart, just around the corner from CP Ollie. Daylight was just about gone. I had one more place in mind that I usually don't visit often where I decided to officially round out my day, and that was Lindale, Georgia, a suburb just outside of Rome. With the viewing platform, the mountain in the background, and old Southern Railway crossing signals still protecting Park Avenue and Maple Road, this was a great spot to enjoy the last peaks of light, and train 373 passing on through. The time is 2040. They haven't stopped since catching them at Austell. From here, this train would continue on up to Dalton, where they would stop and work before reaching Chattanooga. As for me, I started my trip back towards home. The total tally of trains in the 14.5 hours of daylight between Atlanta and Rome was 24. I don't think I've shot that many trains close to home in a long time. We'll call that a success. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe to the channel and enable that notification bell as well. See y'all next time from Lindale, Georgia at milepost 84.0 letter H along Norfolk Southern's Atlanta North District.